Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and in this video, I'll be profiling a little bit of this video from the Canadian Preppers YouTube channel titled, Billionaires Are Prepping for a Major Event, World's Leading Bunker Contractor Says. And as we'll see in this video, one of the leading bunker contractors out there has been contacted by a lot of billionaires lately to build underground bunkers due to the war in Ukraine and also a whole host of other issues that have been taking place over the past couple of years. And if billionaires are preparing for what's to come, how much more the elites that are fomenting all this unrest to bring about their GREATRESET, the NW0, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And we know according to the scriptures that these elites and other higher-ups in society are going to go to underground bunkers and other survival shelters to escape all the things that are about to take place. This is Amos chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 1. I saw Yahweh standing upon the altar, and he said, Smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. And those that are trying to flee and escape are again the elites, such as the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gettys, Merovingians, and these other higher-ups out here. For example, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, if they even survive what's to come, presidents, prime ministers, sheiks, etc., etc. And those that they're trying to flee and escape from are the 144,000 hunters of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, who are fishers of men right now, out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this. But in that day, they're going to be those hunters with spiritual powers, dragging you elites and other higher-ups out of your hiding holes, because a lot of you are going to survive all of these things that are about to take place because you're going to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 2, though they dig into hell, thence shalt mine hand take them. And when you go into that word hell in the Strong's Concordance, it's Sheol, which means the grave. So it's talking about underground bunkers, your dumbs, deep underground military bases. This isn't talking about another dimension where people go to burn for eternity in. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down, going into space stations in low orbit space, which we also know exist. Just look at what happened a couple of months ago. You had Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson start to create their own private luxury space travel for wealthy clients. Verse 3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, going into deep mountain bunkers, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, undersea bases as well as luxury submarines, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So not only are the 144,000 going to go underwater to get you elites, but also Leviathan is going to come after you as well. And like I just said, the reason a lot of you elites and other higher-ups are going to survive all these calamities that Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi is about to bring to this planet for judgment is because you're going to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. This is Psalms 149. I'm going to start at verse 4. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people, the children of Israel, who are known as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. He will beautify the meek with salvation, beginning with the elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the righteous 1/3, and then eventually the rest of the nation of Israel, who are going to be reborn righteous through the loins of the elect. Let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, the elites, like the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, and their nobles with fetters of iron, these other higher-ups, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Vladimir Putin, these other presidents and prime ministers and sheiks, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh.
Now, are you seeing people who are perhaps a bit more well-connected? Are the elites preparing more? Are you getting phone calls from people in, more prestigious places or privileged places?
Well, Nate, you know that I opened a factory in Europe, right?
That's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah. Well, I opened a factory in Poland about 8 months ago, and I've got projects all over Europe. Matter of fact, two of the largest bunker projects in the world are projects that I'm doing some of the engineering on. One's in Berlin, the other one's in Italy. It's funny. I would say before the war, I had met maybe one billionaire in my life. Since the war, I've met 8 now. And the elites are coming out of the woodwork and they're buying these bunkers. And they're not buying small bunkers, they're buying my Fat Boy. So I haven't even done the video on the Fat Boy, but the Fat Boy is my latest and greatest big bunker. It's 14 feet wide, 50 feet long. It has 10-foot ceilings in it with a sunken living room, and we transport it in one piece. It weighs 80,000 pounds. It is ginormous. But the people, it's like I've learned, if you build it, they will buy it. So there's guys out there that buy these RVs, these coaches.
Though they dig into hell, thence shalt mine hand take them. And if billionaires are doing this, again, how much more the elites that know exactly what's going on.
Which is like a Newell coach, which is like a bus, and they cost $2.5 million. So I know one thing that's in common with the people who buy the Fat Boy, these guys have car collections and they have these big fancy buses. They want the best that money can buy. That's, I would say the average age of them is about 70 years old. And I guess they have the attitude, you can't take it with you, you might as well spend it and have some fun with it. But my shelters that I'm making right now, these things, they're nothing short of a beautiful home. They don't feel like a bunker. They don't feel like you've been locked into a county jail. You feel like you've been into one of those mini cabins or one of these small mini houses that you see next to the highway that people sell. And you walk inside, you're like, wow, these things are beautiful. I'm taking a lot of pride in the shelters. I'm making them livable so you can use them in the meantime until shit hits the fan and then you really need them.
Yeah, I would imagine as a billionaire, there really isn't a whole lot of stuff you can buy once you have $1 billion in the bank. You can buy a house, you can buy some cars. Above and beyond that, maybe you buy yourself a nice yacht, maybe even go to space with Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. But
though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
At the end of the day, I'm sure that the security that comes with having a bunker is probably right up there on their priority list. So you said you're seeing a lot of activity in Poland and Germany. Are these like bigger projects? Are they for individuals? Or are they for like government?
Well, there's one guy in Italy that's building a public project where you can buy into it for 500 people. And then there's a group in Germany that's doing a 1,000-person project where you can buy into it because people don't have the space for private bunkers. So these guys are building the bunkers so you can go buy the private space in it. And so they're basically making an investment. The one project's like $35 million project for the 1,000 people. The other one, I don't know what it is. It's around $24 million project. But that way people have a place to go. That's the problem. A lot of people live in high-rise buildings. They have apartments. They're wealthy, but they have no place to go. They can go check into the Doomsday Hotel bunker. So I don't know what they're going to call it.
So do you think that obviously there's a limited amount of these Swiss air filtration systems to go around?
That's it with this video. You get the point. But as we can clearly see, biblical prophecy continues to take place right before our very eyes. This is Revelation chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And that great earthquake is talking about nuclear missiles being shot to the ends of the earth during World War III. And even in the mainstream media now, they're talking about the possibility for World War III, Russia and America shooting nukes at each other, etc., etc. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, talking about those nuclear missiles, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And what that's talking about is that mushroom cloud after these nuclear missiles detonate. It looks like a scroll rolling together when it billows up and turns into itself. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, the elites, and the great men, these other higher-ups, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, mountain bases, underground bunkers, etc., etc., and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, the Most High Yahweh, and from the wrath of the Lamb, his Son, Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus Christ. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? No one. As it says back in Amos chapter 9 verse 1, He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. All you elites and other higher-ups are going to survive the calamities to come just so you can be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope your sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. As we can clearly see, we're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.